Hello and welcome to another edition of Rural Reflections. Colin Dave, your rural-based podcast, co-hosted by my brother Dave Nelson in Carrington, North Dakota, and myself, Grant Nelson, here at the studios of Thief River Falls Radio. First, our headlines. Agriculture Secretary Sonny Perdue said the odds of a multi-billion-dollar round of trade war payments to farmers this year are less than 10%, although a senior lawmaker said the payments may be absolutely vital for survival in the Farm Belt. China will turn to the U.S. market for soybeans late this spring, this summer, Perdue predicted during a House Agriculture Committee hearing on Wednesday. Due to a strike next week by farmers in protest of a government tax hike, Argentina will not be exporting soybeans after the good news that Argentina's soybean output projection was raised by over 1 million metric tons last week due to good weather. Argentinian President Alberto Fernandez has demonstrated that the country's farmers will have a long-lasting tax nightmare. This time around, no window to expect any sales. And finally, in May 2020, farmers will be able to order AGCO's Fendt Ideal Combine without a steering wheel. Instead, the machine will be equipped with the new Fendt Ideal Drive, introduced at the 2020 Commodity Classic. Ideal Drive is a joystick steering system option that gives the combine operator a clear view of the whole header. My brother Dave Nelson now joins us from Carrington. Hello, Dave. How are you doing today?
I'm doing really good. We're having a beautiful start to our day. Nice sunshine, and we're maybe supposed to hit 50 here today. Sounds like the western part of the state is going to be in the 60s.
So it's tick-tock then to go out there and get that corn combine before the ground gets too warm where you start getting stuck again.
Yeah, I think, and I've seen that this week. A lot of crunching towards getting the corn off. You know, we're making pretty good progress here, actually, in the snow even. And I don't know, haven't heard the projected completion amount, but I would guess we're getting into the 70% harvested. There's an awful lot of corn east of here yet. You know, you get towards the valley and stuff, it's a lot, but I'm sure we're making a lot of progress right here anyway.
Have you heard anything about moisture or if the test weights are going up?
Well, it's all over the place actually, but I'm hearing guys now that they're talking of 18 moisture and some test weights of 50 to 52 pounds, but more of the time I hear it's still wet and test weights are under 50 pounds.
Well, at least you got lots of cattle out there to eat their way through some of that lightweight corn.
Yeah, it's going to happen too, I'm sure. That'll be what takes place. I don't know how the ethanol plants deal with that exactly, but you know, there's some. I'm guessing there's some places that will take, you know, lighter weight corn. I'm sure they'll deduct too, but at least they'll be able to take it. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of it will go for feed.
I was looking on the internet today and I saw that at the 2020 Commodity Classic, AGCO Fendt introduced a combine where you can order a joystick. It seems like the technology is just keeps sliding and sliding towards full autonomy. What do you think of that, Dave?
I'm sure that's where it's pointed. You know, for an autonomous unit, you know, there can't be anything mechanical steering it. It has to be electronically steered, so I'm sure the signal that the joystick gives off can be replicated by a controller of some sort, and it make it steer, you know,
yeah,
and follow the map that's out there.
In the meanwhile, though, I mean, the one thing about it'll be kind of nice if you have a joystick on the side. It would be nicer to watch the header, as far as like watching for anything going in or what level it is in relation to the ground.
It's nice, but I can assure you there is one huge drawback, and that's that everything takes place with that one piece, you know. So you blow a fuse or, you know, something electrical happens there and everything quits. The handles already are quite involved even if they're not steering. So it gets to be an awful lot rides on the handle working.
Yep. Well, let's talk about some tried and true technology then. Our tractor of the week this week, we talked before we got on the air here, the Allis-Chalmers 180, and started building that in 1967, went through 1973. Most of them were diesels, 10,163 diesels and 1,587 gases. 4.9 liter diesel and the 4.3 gas engine. Dave, you and I have both had experience with the Allis-Chalmers 180 on the farm and fixing. What do you think of that tractor?
Really a good high fuel economy, kind of a nice to operate tractor, excepting they didn't put live PTO in it, and it was not super durable as far as a pulling tractor. The engine was good, I would say, as good as anything in its time period, but it had some drivetrain issues if you pulled it hard. If you were just out there driving it, it was very nimble, lots of power, for its little 80 horsepower or whatever it was supposed to have, 68 horsepower, I think it was. It felt like it was in charge, had good power steering, pretty durable front axle, that kind of thing. It was a nice little tractor, but everything has its little drawbacks. I loved running it because we moved from the little old M's and H's and stuff like that up to that, and when you have something with power steering in it, all of a sudden, man, that is a big thing. Good little tractor.
I remember how comfortable it was, and we had the nice radio on there, and we could pick up hay, and we could pick up hay with the stack liner. We could do 2 rows at the same time because it was so nimble. I remember how comfortable it was to drive, and also I remember when you talk about the lack of live PTO, the little hand clutch on there. That must have been the nod towards at least trying to make it feel like you had live PTO, huh?
Yes, it was, and I believe that was inherited from the WD series and the D series. That was a Allis-Chalmers thing, but it wasn't quite like having live PTO. Although, if you remember, you could pop that thing into neutral, jump down off of the right-hand side of the tractor, go fix a bale on the hay liner, and be right back up and go again pretty quick. Something you probably couldn't have done on another tractor, that you had to clutch and shift and all that.
Yeah, I had a lot of good memories on that tractor of picking up hay bales. It always seemed like it was so much fun to pick up hay bales with that. Just you could whiz back and forth, and even backing up and dumping a load of hay. It was so easy to just spot it just in the right place, it seemed like.
Yeah, it was very nimble. Nice handling little tractor.
Yeah, it was. The Allis-Chalmers 180, our tractor of the week. Dave, you got anything else for us this week?
I guess not. We're having a pretty big week this week with open house and sprayer clinics and things like that. So, say a prayer for me.
And that'll be at the Implement in Carrington. So, on one hand, I don't want to tell everybody to go there because I want it to be as easy as possible for my brother Dave with all these people running in there. But on the other hand, I suppose you want people to come in. So, head to Carrington this week if you want to learn how to use all the new stuff, right?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll let you go, Dave, and we'll see you next week.
All right. See you, Grant.
Yep. Bye-bye. There he is, my brother Dave, on our Rural Reflections Calling Dave podcast. Dave Nelson in Carrington, North Dakota. I'm Grant Nelson here in Thief River Falls at the studios of Thief River Falls Radio.